everyone, Kirsten Kennedy here with Flux Movement. I wanted to take a moment to show you an exercise on how to mobilize the rib cage in order to help you breathe more in a 360-degree way, less in our chest, less in our neck, and more into this expansive breath pattern that our bodies are really designed for. This ribcage mobility technique is wonderful for women who are pregnant, postpartum women who are just getting back into that diaphragmatic breathing, really connecting to the diaphragm. It's also a wonderful technique for people who are chronic shallow breathers, or people who just can't seem to get rid of this neck tension. One of the first things I do when I have a new client here is I ask them to sit in front of the mirror and take 3 deep breaths. And often what we see is a deep breath looks like this. And of course this is exaggerated, but these shoulders hike up, the neck gets shortened, you can see the muscles start to really engage through here, and they're not quite getting the depth of breath that they could potentially get. Also, if you notice, if we're constantly calling on these accessory muscles to do the job of our ribs and our back and all of these other muscles that just wrap around our entire trunk, we're going to walk away with chronic neck tightness, overuse of the neck, or even neck weakness. So this exercise is just a wonderful way to connect to our body as a 3-dimensional thing, as opposed to just this like up and down, out and in type breath. So we start by sitting in any position that's comfortable. For me, this position's ideal. If this is not comfortable, feel free to sit in a chair or on an exercise ball. But what we're going to do is sit up nice and tall. So try to sit back into those sits bones. So we're not leaning forward, we're not rounded forward, we're nice and tall. We're going to start by taking our right hand to our right rib cage. So I've got my hand kind of cupped around, thumb is at the back of my ribs, fingers are right under the breast tissue here. And I want to keep this shoulder from hiking up, so just feel that relax down. You're going to take a deep breath into that hand, and then as you exhale, your left shoulder is going to rotate for your right knee, and then round over, push those ribs back. It's almost like you're doubling over in pain here. Hopefully you're not. So left hand to that low back, so QL area, this kind of flank area of the back. Take a deep breath into that left hand. And then exhale, push those ribs in a little more. Open mouth exhale is key. Inhale into that left palm, breathe wide into that back. You might even feel a stretch. Exhale, feel those ribs sink in a little bit deeper. We'll do that one more time. Inhale into that left hand. Exhale, press. You can almost feel these back ribs lifting up as these front ribs draw in. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall. We'll switch sides, so left hand comes just underneath the breast, right hand to that low back QL area. Take a deep breath in, relax the shoulders down. Exhale, push your left ribs in as your right shoulder rotates for your left knee. Take a deep breath into your right hand. And then that open mouth exhale gently just drops those ribs back. So we're not forcefully pressing too much here. So inhale into that hand. There is a little press of my left hand into that rib cage. And we'll do that one more time. And then go ahead and come on up. So you could repeat that. You could keep breathing in and out in that position for as long as it really feels comfortable. You'll notice the more you practice that, you might even start to feel a deeper stretch in that QL area, which is wonderful for people who experience chronic back pain or tightness. And then one way to really just kind of tell is after you've done a couple rounds, go ahead and take a deep breath back in, feeling that breath go wide, and then that open mouth exhale. So when we keep our jaw slightly open and we breathe out, we can't keep tension in the ribs. They just have to kind of gently collapse down. This is just a wonderful way to bring awareness into the body as it pertains. It's 3 dimensions, right? So as we get further along in our pregnancy, it gets trickier and trickier to be able to find that deep breath. So being able to call on, okay, I'm going to breathe into my ribs, or I'm going to breathe more into my back now to really get that breath, not only is going to help you feel like you're getting a deeper, more expansive breath, but it's also going to help to keep tightness at bay in that back line that tends to really start screaming towards the end of pregnancy. I told you about some of the contraindications for this ribcage breathing. So the one thing is, obviously, if someone has a ribcage injury or rib injury, broken ribs, we're going to avoid this. And then also anyone with osteoporosis, we just want to make sure that press in is gentle, very, very gentle. We don't want to put any undue pressure on things like the floating ribs down here or ribs down here that might cause pain or injury. So thank you so much. I hope this breathing helps, and please feel free to let me know what you think. Leave a question in the comments. Thanks. Bye.